Hello and welcome to Movies and Us. This is the final week of my theme month. And my, as in Marcus, this is Marcus, and I have with me is...
TJ.
TJ, that's right. And like I said, it's my final week of my theme month. My theme month being former child stars who are now adult actors? No, not adult actors, just regular actors, I guess. Human-sized actors. And they're the human-sized projects they do. And this week's episode is going to focus on the great movie by Natalie Portman, Annihilation.
2018.
Oh, yeah. This movie's a movie. This movie has a runtime of 115 minutes. It's 2 hours long, guys. It's
an hour 55 to be
it's
exact.
two hours long. It's a long movie. This movie is directed by Alex Garland. Screenplay by Alex Garland, based on the movie, or sorry, the book.
Yeah.
Titled Annihilation. It's a part of a book trilogy. It's the first one, the first book story of that trilogy. Produced by Scott Rudin, Andrew MacDonald, Alan Reich, and Eli Bush. Starring Natalie Portman, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Gina Rodriguez, Tessa Thompson, Tuvi Navatini.
Tuva Navatni.
Full names: Tuva Moa Matilda Carolina Navanatni Hedstrom. I don't know. Sorry. She's Swedish. So yes, I already come from. And Oscar Isaac. And probably some other people.
Also, Benedict Juan, Sononia Mizuno, David Gassai, Sammy Heyman, and Josh Stanford.
Yeah, people.
Also, an alligator and some deer and a bear.
A bear, a wicked-ass, cool-ass bear. Wish the whole movie was that scene, TJ. The movie could have been that whole scene. Like, great. That's all I needed. Released on February 13th, 2018 in some theater, Regency Village Theater. Released in the United States on February 23rd, 2018. March 12th, 2018 in the United Kingdom, and it was also on Netflix for a minute. The budget was $40 to $55 million, but it only grossed a total of $43.1 million, placing it number 135 in the worldwide box office.
So, did they put $40 to $55 million because they didn't want to say how much they lost?
Pretty much. Maybe upset. Let's do 20, right? That's what's the 20.
This one you have. This is in the list, right?
Yeah, the 100. When we do 134, 5 of them.
I want you to do 140 to 130.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay, they're like all no-name movies. But okay.
So what? This is the list they're with.
Sure. 140 is The Darkest Minds. Never heard of it. Number 139, The Great Battle. Ever heard of that one?
No.
I have heard number 138. That's Overlord. It's a zombie D-Day themed movie. It's okay. 137, Long Day's Journey into the Night. At 136, The Possession of Hannah Grace. Number 130.
I might have heard of that one.
So did I, but I don't think I've seen it. I know I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
135 is Annihilation.
Hey, I heard of that one.
Yeah. 134 is Winchester.
The gun or the person?
Ensconced in her sprawling It's a haunting movie. I guess a person, location. Jesus Christ. At number 133. Goddamn. Bajrangi Bahajan, the 2018 re-release. Sounds pretty cool, actually.
A re-release beat this movie.
Yes, sir. Narrowly, but it beat it. Number 132. Asterix. Okay, Asterix, The Secret of the Magic Potion.
Wait, is that a cartoon?
It is a cartoon, yeah.
I know what Asterix is. It's based on an English comic.
It's not a cartoon, it's an animation. But it looks like
that's what I mean.
It looks like it's in Spanish.
Yeah, that's based on an English comic book.
Huh,
like in
cool.
England.
Really? I mean, it looks like England because it looks like it has Merlin on cover or some shit like that. Huh, pretty cool.
I think it's English. It might be French, though.
Could be that. It could be that because it looks like it said Les Secrets. French word. I can't read that. So I can't read that language.
Now that I think about it, it might be French. I might have been reading when I didn't read it, but I've checked out a comic or two of it. But it was like I think I might have been reading the English, like the England English version.
Okay. That's what number is this? 131. Acrimony.
No,
and at number 130. That's right. You know who it is. Uncle Drew.
I'm gonna have to go ask him what that movie is then.
I have no idea who Uncle Drew is. But that's the top 140 to 130.
Did you intentionally pick movies that all have bad endings? Like,
I didn't think this one ending was bad. This ending was on par with what this movie was going to be about. Like, this movie is about this trippy shit.
No.
Like, okay, the movie's going to end ambiguously.
This movie, ended ambiguously is not the word I would. Unfulfilling is what I would say. Did not finish the story.
Because it's part of because when you read it's part of a trilogy of books, like, okay, that makes sense. So it doesn't really have an ending.
No, I didn't know that when I watched it.
Neither did I. But until you read the background, like, okay, that makes sense.
I'm judging it based on what I seen and what I experienced.
Yeah.
And from what I experienced, did not finish the story at all. And, not to be fair though, there wasn't much of a story to it.
No, there really isn't. There really isn't.
So, but the ending, again, ruined the entire movie.
I don't think so. We're going to get into it, but I don't think so. I think it's like, yeah, this is how it should end. It's like, I just knew going in, it's going to end on some bullshit. And then end on some bullshit. Like, yeah, I expected it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
shit.
La La Land ruined the show movie. Cooties ruined, you're right. Peanut Butter Falcon, god damn, these movies. What's if movie's not ending? I think I said that last episode too. Like, just end the fucking movie properly, guys. You know, like, give us a sunset or just have everyone die. But don't just like, oh, it's up to the. It's sequel bait. It's all sequel bait nowadays. That's what it is.
It's crap. That's what it is. It's all bull crap.
So you're ready to start this review, TJ?
We didn't do behind the scenes or anything.
Oh, there's whitewashing complaints, I guess, if you read the book.
Yeah, I don't know. Neither one of us read the book.
I mean, I'm not going to like discredit people saying it's whitewashed. Right. They're saying it's Asian and Indian, right? That character's supposed to be.
It was half a mixed race of half indigenous.
And that was supposed to be Natalie Portman's character.
No, Natalie Portman's character is supposed to be Asian.
Okay.
And Leigh's character is supposed to be half indigenous, a mixed race of white and white. Yeah, white. That's a race.
Caucasus.
But yeah, so
yeah. Yeah, so there's whitewashing play. Well, I'm not trying to discredit the whitewashing play. Yeah, so, that's the thing.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
If that character was Asian, one was indigenous, were the other two characters supposed to be black too? Were they black characters in there?
I was thinking like at least they got those two characters in there, but like I don't know, were they supposed to be?
Yeah, I know.
White, black, anything else?
Like
Hispanic.
Granted, they made it a majority white cast. But I'm wondering if it was supposed to be a majority colored cast.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know. It just seems. I wonder if they, and I don't know if this is a word, but like colored wash the other characters.
Reversed whitewashing, yeah.
Yeah, so because you never hear anybody complain about that, but
yeah, exactly. I wouldn't complain about the whitewashing. I don't complain about any whitewashing in this movie specifically, but just because it's not an IP most people are familiar with, so I don't think that matters. I mean, it does matter to hold weight, I guess. And also, I think like them changing their ethnicities doesn't change the character. Like, unless in the book them being a certain race mattered, then sure, complain about it.
I'm always of the notion if it's not a visual medium, it doesn't matter.
Unless they offer, again, I argued this before, but the author put into it, they're so-and-so.
I write books. I write books. And I do give my characters sometimes specific colors, like skin tones. But if any of my stories ever got adapted to visual, I would not give a crap what their ethnicity is, because when you read it in a book, you picture your own person anyway.
Yeah. Like,
for me in specific, when I read a description, that description goes out. I get bored and completely forget what the description is and just replace it with whatever what I think it is anyway. And
I mostly agree, unless, like I said, the thing they are matters for the story, for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah, if it matters to the story or the character. Like, if there's someone's got a scar on their eye or something, like, that's a physical trait that's important for story reasons. Or if their ethnicity is part of the story because they're that race, they're being hated, marginalized, or something like that. That's it. But if it's just because I don't know if this is a lot of writers, but I feel like it's a lot of writers. A lot of writers just like, I don't give a crap what color skin they are. They're this color because this is what my color skin is, and sure, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if that's the reason,
I have to say what color this is because I have to describe this because it's in a book form. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, I agree. So,
but if it was like in a visual medium, like a comic book, and there was a established race that way, then I would be against it.
absolutely different.
No, I'm not. Because
Again, unless the character, which most time in comics they have a long legacy of being a thing. So, like, unless that character again has a reason why they're that race and it does affect their story, then I care. If it doesn't affect the story, I don't give a shit. Couldn't give two shits less.
I think it matters if it's already established in a visual medium because you're changing what people have already seen.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
But I would put that argument towards if the character was written a certain race, they should stay that race then too. Because I've seen it in my mind's eye. I haven't seen it visually, but I've seen it in my mind's eye. So I think it's the same thing.
But that's different because everyone's mind is subjective. Whereas
no, but I'm saying if the author said this person's Asian American, the Asian descent, they gotta be that character.
Yeah, but that's my point. As an author myself, I'm like, I don't care.
That's the kind of author you are.
I think a lot of authors are. I'm sure some of them, if some of the authors are like, yeah, they have to be like this, then I'll be like, okay, I guess, because the author, that's the art. But if the author says, oh, I don't give a crap, who cares? Then it's one thing. But like,
I think the same thing carries over to comic books too. Like, I don't give what race the person is. They could be white, they could be black, unless it drives into their story.
But the difference is
how much color of this ink do we have? Great, let's make them that color. But I think most authors don't give a shit if Superman was originally white or whatever, unless. Well, he was Jewish, so that's the thing. Like, he's an allegory for Jewish immigrants into America. So there's a reason why he's white. But if I was drawing a character,
a lot of the characters that were created back then, they do care because of a lot of the racism and stuff.
Yeah.
So they were intentionally white, a lot of those characters, and I'm not saying that's right or anything, but according to the original artist would definitely say no, there has to be white because of racial reasons and stuff like that.
Or they're black because whatever.
Yeah.
Racism has to happen
like that. But I'm saying because it's been established in factually that you can actually physically see, that's what I have. It's very rare that it works. You have to have an amazing actor replace it to take over the role. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you saying.
It's like otherwise it just doesn't fit. And I'm not saying they're not just white people. I'm like if it's established an Asian descent, black person, and any comic book first, and changing a race, I would be against it because it's already established in a physically factual way. In that way, you could go and look at it.
I'm indifferent, but I do care to the point where most characters have multiple people that play that character, so just pick someone else. So if you made Green Lantern. And who's the Black Green Lantern? John Smith, right?
John Stewart.
If it was John Stewart, supposed to be a Black Green Lantern, and they made a white John Stewart, like he's black. Yeah, you have three or four other white guys to pick from. So then I would care then. Right. But if it's just the one character who's always been played by the one person, for some reason we make him another race, sure.
Like
if you have other iterations of that character in different formats, do that one.
Yeah, there's no reason for it,
But if there's always been a white Wonder Woman,
there is currently. Well, Diana Prince is Wonder Woman. There is now a Black Wonder Woman and I want to say Hispanic, but she's South American, so I don't think that's right. I think it's Brazilian, maybe.
Possibly.
There's a Brazilian Wonder Woman.
Is there any character who's always been a white, say the same character, always been that one person?
The mantle or the character?
The mantle.
The mantle.
Or by this time, it's most people pass the mantle to some other sex/race.
Well, I know Batman right now has a black Batman, so
So I'm just saying, if there's always been one mantle of one person, one color, then them changing the race, I don't care. But there's been other people playing that in other races and genders, make it that story then. That's all I'm arguing. But I just don't care.
The perfect example of doing that is the Blue Beetle movie that's coming out. They're using Jamie Reyes when originally it was a white guy named Ted Kord.
Exactly.
You're not taking Ted Kord and making him Hispanic, so
exactly whitewashing. Don't do it unless it's done right. Race washing.
Like I said,
color washing.
It rarely works. Going from David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury, to Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, perfect. You know what I mean?
Although, we never gave properly Hasselhoff a chance. So, I think either one would have been fine.
No, he was in a.
I'm saying in a big chance, as in cinematic universe chance.
No, but he had his own movie and it was terrible.
Yeah, is it his fault or is it the fucking production and Was it a Corman production kind of one, or was it like
I
a
don't
proper?
know. When we cover it eventually, we'll find out.
But I think if they were to do what they did with the Spider-Verse and have the Hoffmans, God, too many Hoffmans, to have the Furies cross over and we see both Furies on screen, I think Hoffman would do just fine as
Have you
Jackson.
seen him act?
He's a bad. I know he's a bad actor, and I think they went with Fury just for the fact, or Fury with Samuel Jackson just for the fact. If I think you go the Hoffman route, you have to go with a more cheesy Avengers movie. I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. Samuel Jackson is a good actor.
To be fair, they actually designed the Ultimate Marvel Universe's Nick Fury around Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
So he was in the comic before he was in any movie.
Okay.
So So I guess they did.
Yeah, they didn't whitewash that. They just took that one instead.
They used that one instead, but that one's not supposed to exist in the universe.
It's just black. Well, the MCU is a whole different universe, though, right? So it doesn't matter which one you pick from.
Technically, yeah.
So it's not part of the comic universe.
I know. It's just So
it's not whitewashing then. It's just like, okay, we're using the black one instead of the white one.
Yeah, I guess.
Again, I don't generally give a shit.
Yeah, I just think there's no reason to change. I just don't understand why you can't just stay true to what works. The reason these things have been around forever for a reason. Just use what's been used. Why do you need to feel the need to change it?
They get the people in the seats. That's why, DJ.
Money! But Marvel hasn't really changed much of anything. They stuck to the comic core and only condensed it and updated it for modern and movie audiences. They stuck to what worked. That's why they're so successful.
I know. What are you trying to argue against right now? Are you arguing a Superman thing?
I'm arguing that, stop changing things and fucking just do what works, and you won't have a DC problem where you need to restructure 3,000 times.
I adamantly agree.
All right. I guess you can start your review now.
Are you sure? You want to talk about this movie? I'll say the names of the characters real quick so I'm going to forget later. Natalie Portman's Lena. Jennifer Lee is Dr. Ventress. Benedict Wong is Lomax. Lomax? That's a good name. Lomax. I am Lomax. Tessa Thompson is Josie. Sanoa is...
Josie Sanoa? You mean Josie Raddick?
No, just Tessa is Josie. Sanoa is... Tessa is Josie, comma. Sanoa is Katie, the med student. I don't think she cares. David is Daniel. John is Paramount. Okay. Kane. Oscar Isaac is Kane. Tuva is Shepard.
Why are you doing this? We never use the names. We never remember.
I know. I always call one Glasses. One's got a cancer kid. The other one's got a dead husband. They all have things that are pressed about.
I'm going to call Natalie Portman character Natalie Portman. I mean,
the audience might care, DJ. I care about these egg suckers and their feelings. Let's do this.
I also want to get this out of the way right in the beginning.
Oh, God.
Not the actor's fault.
No, most of the time it's not the actor's fault.
No, not the actor's fault. The actors are perfectly fine. They do a good job with what they have.
Yes.
I just want to upfront this right now. Like I feel like I
don't think this movie's that bad. Like, I don't know why you're trying to, this movie's not that bad.
Because I have major issues with the script.
Okay. So, yeah, it's mostly the writing and the...
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Mostly the writing. Like 90% the writing.
Yeah. We'll see. If there's flashbacks to this movie, TJ? It's a lot of flashbacks to this movie.
Flashbacks to the flashback to the flashbacks of this movie. This movie is filmed out of order, apparently.
Yeah, for reasons. I hate that story structure so much. I hate when shows do that. Like, no show. I know your story's weak if you're doing this. Just give me a beginning, middle, and end. Give me an occasional flashback here and there. Don't do the whole story structure that way. It's just indicative, like, you're just not confident in what you have. And I fucking hate that.
And by the way...
Yeah?
Alex Garland, pretentious as shit.
Who's Alex Garland? Oh, yeah. I mean, he did a good movie called Ex Machina, so that's why he thinks he's not shit. Or so it's supposed to be good. I haven't seen it, but I heard it looks really good. Or
maybe this is a scene from scene adaptation from the book. That author, pretentious as shit.
Would you call this pretension, though? I don't think this movie thinks it's better than anyone or, like, clever.
No, but I think it thinks it's clever.
You think so?
Yeah.
If it does, then I think its movie's really dumb because it's not a clever, smart movie. I think if anything...
But it thinks it's deep and, it thinks it's... it thinks it's saying something that it's not.
Of the 4 movies we watched this month, which one do you think is the deepest? Between Cooties, Peanut Butter Falcon, La La Land, or this?
La La Land.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, speaking of La La Land, I saw... It's not getting into this review, I guess. I saw... Well, let me just preface this by... I saw 2 musicals at 5. I saw La La Land. I saw Tick Tick Boom. Like, these movies suck. Let me find a good musical to watch. So I'm going on Netflix and I put on Les Mis. That movie and that story. My first time hearing or witnessing the whole musical story. That movie is so good, TJ. It's so good, and the story is so good. The story is so damn good.
The story is a classic.
Yeah, I know, but I never cared to read it or watch it or whatever. But I had to watch the taste out of 2 bad musicals. I gave this one a chance, and the characters are great. You actually care about these characters.
But you had to listen to Russell Crowe sing.
That was, oh god. I was thinking to myself, this movie is too long, 2.5 hours, like it should be shorter, and not every voice is meant to be singing. I'll tell you that right now. I think Jackman at some points, like, I know you're a good singer, Jackman, but I think sometimes you shouldn't sing.
But I was about to say, at least you got to hear Jackman sing, because I know he's
give and take, in my opinion. I don't think he's great, but like, he's a musical guy, so I get it. But the movie was great, phenomenal. That was easy. I give that one an 8 out of 10 because that one I was just singing the whole time. Like, this is great.
Well, wasn't it like 3 hours?
Yeah, 2.5 hours. 2 hours 45 minutes. I'm sorry. It's like this is long, but I was enjoying it, so I can't complain.
So
about
you
too
did
much.
that instead of watching this movie.
Yeah, because I was like, should I watch Annihilation or should I watch Les Mis? Like, I'm gonna watch Les Mis instead. I can sit down for 3 hours. I'm good. So we start off. We see a meteor in space hurling towards America. I guess America to Earth.
It is America, but it's hurling towards a lighthouse.
To a lighthouse on the beach and at a national park, I guess, an undisclosed location. And it hits it, and an explosion happens. Kind of, not an explosion. A bright light happens. And was that the first scene? No, the first scene is that. Yeah. And then we cut to Dr. Wong. What's his name?
And this first scene, I was out. After this scene, I was done with this movie.
Well, let me explain the scene, and let me ask you why afterwards. So we get to Wong in a suit, a hazmat suit, talking to Portman. She's sitting there like confused. And he's like, "You've been gone for 2 weeks, which is equivalent to 4 days or 4 months or some shit like that." And he's questioning her about where are these people at? She's like, "They're all dead," and I don't know.
No,
and
she says. 2 of them are dead and 2 are missing.
Yes. After that, we cut to present day. But what's your problem with this scene, TJ?
They just told us who's going to live and die in this entire movie.
Yep. If you're paying attention, yes.
They spoiled the entire movie in the first 5 minutes.
I agree. That's why I hate this format.
I'm like, well, now I know this one dies, this one disappears, this one disappears, this one dies, and Natalie Portman lives. There's no tension in the rest of this fucking movie. Why am I watching this movie?
This is why you don't do the forward and backward dumb bullshit. We know Tarantino did it a while back. He was great at it. Don't do this, guys. This just ruins a lot of things. It's stupid.
It took out every intense moment gone because of this movie. It's like,
unless this scene happens, unless what she's talking to him happens 10 minutes later in the fucking movie, the whole thing before that just doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, this whole movie is entirely gone and ruined at this point.
If you're paying attention to what names she says or he says and how she responds, you know what happens to each one of these people.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's fun, I guess. Thanks, movie, for telling me that.
You don't need to watch it.
Nope. That's why, honestly, when he was saying these things, it's like I almost said these names out because I don't want to pay attention. I did not pay attention to the names he was saying. Now she was responding.
But it doesn't matter because 2 of them disappear and 2 of them are dead. And 2 of them are gone and 2 of them, you'll see 2 of them die on screen and you'll see the other 2 maybe
disappear, kind of. But for sure she's alive. So anything that happens from that point until this point, she's alive. So that's like, this movie sucks. So that happens. Meteor crashes. We cut to present day. She's at lecturing. She's a professor at Johns Hopkins, and she's the professor on what's it? Not biology.
Biology, yeah. She's a professor of biology.
And she's talking about how cells break down and shit like that. It's just cell talk, because this movie's an allegory for cells, I guess, and shit like that.
Yeah, because, science. I know they know science in this movie.
It's not even like deep science. It's like elementary science. It's shit you learn in
it's like
your first science class.
They look like it's like they looked up the word refractors and was like, it's gonna annihilate the world now.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool.
Well, okay, sure, that's what you want to do.
And so after class is dismissed, she goes down and she's like, okay. She sees a black professor. He comes up to her. His name is Black Professor. I don't know his name. But he comes up to her like, hey, Portman, come to my family barbecue. She's like, no, I got to paint my room. Our room. I mean, my room. And this indicates... Yeah.
I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. The whole subplot of her marriage,
Pointless.
completely pointless.
The whole her cheating but not cheating, pointless. That whole story.
She definitely cheated, but
yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It has no bearing whatsoever on the story whatsoever.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the shit that I'll tell you that right now because the movie cuts back and forth between that and like I'm not going into detail with that because I don't care. So that black professor and her, they had an affair with he's married and she's married. Her husband goes missing for a year, and 6 months into it, or X months missing into it, she says, I'm gonna have sex with this guy. So they have that affair.
Yeah, and what was the deal? They kept cutting to the sex scene over and over. Reason.
To make it look like she's not a good person, I guess, or whatever. Even though
I don't know. And it's not like they don't show the professor every time.
Is that or maybe it's like to show like there's just some kind of tension between the husband maybe knowing, but who
like honestly, even if that's true, like you said, who cares? About it because spoilers, he's dead.
Exactly. So, like,
it's not like there's going to be any resolution to that. What difference does it make?
Cut those scenes out, and this movie's 10, 20 minutes shorter. Perfect. So yeah, she's not even cheating. She's just having sex with the guy who's cheating on his wife, and he's just trying to justify his actions, and that's it. That's the whole story. That's the whole plot to them. And she feels kind of dirty about it, so she doesn't want to do anything with him ever again. But that's the whole story.
I guess technically she's not cheating because at this time her husband has been gone, and everybody thinks he's dead.
Yeah, so even if he was still alive, he's been gone for a year or however many months it's been in this storyline. So she's just grieving. So let her do her thing. So she's not bad at all. He's the bad guy, the black professor. He's cheating on his wife.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
People grieve in different ways. It's been X amount of months, so I get why she's doing the thing. Anyway, so she's going home to paint the room that her husband and her have, and someone's walking into the house. Who is it? It's her hubby. He's alive, guys! And so him and her are at the kitchen table. He's drinking some water, and she's just lecturing. She's not lecturing. She's trying to get information. I'm like, where have you been for the past 12 months? Ooh, where was it? Was it a far mission? Was it different languages, climate? Like, where were you? He keeps responding emotionlessly. I don't know. He takes a sip of water. There's blood in the water. He says, I don't feel so good. And then they're on an ambulance ride to the hospital. On the ambulance ride to the hospital, it gets intercepted by some military police people, and she gets dosed with a knockout thing, and she ends up waking up in a prison hospital thing, facility, that's the word. And she wakes up to a doctor. His name is Dr. Ventress. And this section of the movie is called Area X. Because this movie's just broken down to like 3 chapters, I guess. Dr. Ventress is a psychologist, and she's breaking down. She gives us explanation about our main character. Our main character's name is Lena. She's been in the military for 7 years, but she's out. Now she's a professor at Johns Hopkins. And Lena does all this. Lena's now asking about her husband, where he's at. Her husband's dying, fatal organ failures and shit like that. And she wants to know where she's at, Lena. So the doctor shows her that they're at an alien site or a weird religious site or who knows, because there's a big phenomenon happening and they don't know shit about it. This thing's been going on for 3 years, this phenomenon. It's been evacuated with the excuse of it's biological weapons that malfunctioned. But this place that they're at, it keeps expanding. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's why they keep sending people in to see what it's about. If you've seen or know anything about SCPs or shit like that, this is what this movie is.
Don't know what you're talking about.
It's a thing on the internet. Just look up SCP. It's a big fan fiction-y, like, where people put their, like, make short stories and, like, have, like, they explain unexplainable things. Kind of like X-Files, like X-Files. So it's a picture of a weird thing.
No, I think I might know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they make a big thing, like, backstory to that weird picture. And this is what this is. And they send out people to examine the shit, so people die, so people don't come back, and they classify what each thing is. Like, this is a world-ending thing, this is not even a threat, and shit like that. This is what this is. This is SCP, this whole movie. So the doctor explains all that, and Natalie Portman's like, "Cool, can I stay my husband somehow?" The doctor's like, "Maybe. Let's go have dinner tonight, or let's go to the night scene." The night scene is Lena is drinking beer with some of the girls as some scientists, and they're all women scientists. Yay, women power, guys! And so they all explain.
They're not all scientists.
No, they have their own one. They tell them who they are. One's
this introduces us to the rest of our characters.
Yeah, what do you know what backgrounds are?
I know Gina Rodriguez is a paramedic.
Sure,
paramedic. I think Tessa Lynn Thompson's the girl with the glasses, right?
Yeah.
She was Flora, like plants and stuff. What's it called? I forget what it's called.
Botanist?
Maybe no, she wasn't. What was she?
I don't know. It doesn't really come into play, so I can't tell you what they do.
I know that the Cassie girl or Tuva girl was Magnus studying the outside of the thing. I know the girl with the glasses was some kind of genius.
Yeah, they all have their specialties.
Yes,
but they all have their flaws too. So Tessa, like, she's not suicidal. She cuts herself to feel things. The other one, the other white one, has a dead cancer kid, and now she's just lonely. The other brown one, she's is an addict, right?
Think so, yeah.
And then the main person, Dr. Ventress, is just lonely.
Well, she has to know what's in here.
Yeah, she has to know what's in there.
And the reason why they're sending all women scientists, because up until this point they send nothing but men, military.
Yeah, military men, so
they figure they might as well try something else before this whole portal thing takes over the world.
Yeah, because it matters. And so they leave in 6 days and yada, yada, yada. And so that's just the rest of the Area X.
Yeah,
they all
Area
talk,
X
they learn.
Thing was just set up.
Yeah, it's just like, here's the thing, we're going in 6 days, here are the characters, and cut to the next scene. The next section of the book is called The Shimmer. Ooh. And this is when we get into it. Oh, Natalie Portman says, I want to go. And Dr. Venture's like, you sure? Because your husband's here, blah, blah, blah. Dr. Natalie Portman's like, yeah, I'm going. Like, okay. And Natalie Portman doesn't tell anyone else about her husband, Kane, who was the military guy that came out and all that shit. So only her and Dr. Venture know about it. This matters for later on in the story, guys.
It does, for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's a dumb. The scene is cool. The scene is like really terrifying, but that's like, really, this is the suspense. But okay, so the Shimmer, guys. Okay, so they all walk in and they all pass out and they wake up. What, 3 days later?
Yeah, and this is the only time this happens.
I know. I was expecting it to happen again and again, but no.
They don't remember. They don't actually pass out.
Yeah.
They set up camp. They just lose the last 3 days, but they never lose their memory again up to this point. The rules in this movie don't make sense.
No, you know how cool it would have been if they kept losing their memories more and more, and like they didn't trust each other and know who each other were later on. Like, who the fuck are you? Why are we here?
Yeah, I don't know. And then we start leaving like notes for each other and stuff like that. That would have been a much better movie than what we got. Instead, we got this. Like, okay, we established a rule, and then we'll never use that rule again. So,
and I can see that, like, if that was like a defense mechanism, so like when they forgot the thing, they completely forgot. But no, they just remember. Okay, we're here for X amount. They go through the food rations. They realize they're down 3 days worth of food. No electronics. The compasses don't work. The electronics don't work. But they all knew that shit going in. Like, the electronics wouldn't work. So Dr. Venture's like, yeah, no shit, guys. We're going to keep going. And they get to a boathouse and their
comms aren't working, but
communications,
but they knew that going in, so
so they go to the boathouse, and while they're at the boathouse, they see vibrant, which should be multiple different species of plants growing off this one root. So now Portman's character's getting invested. Like, this is weird and anomaly, and like, wow, guys,
because they're all one species, it's sprouting from the same vine and not different vines and stuff.
And that shouldn't happen. That's weird.
It's a mutation.
Mutation. That's the key. And so they're
not really though. That mutation is not the key at all. They say it here, and then later they contradict it.
When later, with the alligator thing, or
no, later when they explain what's happening, the explanation for what's happening doesn't go with mutation. Mutation is taking what's already there and it evolving and changing this way. What the explanation is that this world is just mimicking our world.
Oh, yeah.
So if it's mimicking our world, it wouldn't be mutating what we have. It would just be mimicking the things using different materials.
Maybe it's the same. We'll get to it. But maybe.
No, it's opposite. It's two different processes.
No. I know, TJ. Okay, I know. But maybe like the writer thought, whatever. So they're fucking checking out this house. There's nothing in here. Tessa Thompson's staying in the doorway. But oh no, she gets grabbed by something and just dragged into the water. All the girls.
How did this happen?
I don't know. It makes no sense.
It looked like she got pulled in. How did the alligator pull her in like that?
Right?
Bull crap. No,
Right, and-
no way.
No, yeah, no. The way she gets pulled in, like someone
Might have been a
person
crocodile.
pulled her in.
I don't know if it was an alligator.
It's a f***ing gator thing, some kind of gator, and yeah, she gets pulled in by a crocodile. They don't know what it is.
So it's an alligator, not a crocodile, because crocodiles don't have alligator.
One's freshwater, one's saltwater. I don't know which one is which, TJ. Gonna tell you, I don't care enough. So this big reptilian creature, does either alligator or crocodile. It's got to be alligator because I think crocodiles are saltwater.
I'm reading through the plot synopsis right now.
Or just Google it.
No, I got the plot synopsis up.
Yeah.
So alligator.
It's alligator. Okay, I thought so. So the alligator.
So it's a crossbred alligator.
Yeah, so an alligator attacks Thompson. It gets on land and starts attacking them on. And Portman shoots it down.
It's a crocagator.
Yeah, it's a crocagator.
That's what I always call them.
So Portman shoots it down. And then they get to examine its teeth and the rows of teeth. And like this is when they find out it's being mutations. Allidial. I like that better. They examine it and like, oh, this is mutating, guys. Weird. So it's this anomaly is affecting plants and animals. Ooh.
How?
I don't know.
It had more teeth. It had teeth. What? It had shark teeth? That's what I explained. Okay, that makes no sense. Makes no sense. There's no shark. There was no sharks around that looked like an alligator.
No, I think it was duplicating its teeth inside of its mouth.
Yeah, I know. Why?
Because it does. It duplicates things. It mimics things. But
why was it duplicating shark's teeth in the alligator's mouth?
No, I think it was duplicating the crocodile's teeth inside, and it's like a shark. Like usually sharks have teeth like this.
They specifically said it has shark's teeth, didn't it?
I think so. It has teeth like a shark, like rows of teeth and shit like that. That's what they're alluding to.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I thought they were saying it has shark's teeth because of the mutations. It's mutating like a shark.
Yeah, like a shark, like shark teeth rows.
Normally yeah, but that's not a mutation. That implies that it was growing shark's teeth inside of an alligator.
Semantics, DJ. I don't know, man.
It's not semantics. They don't even establish their own rules properly. Look, it's a fictional story. You can create whatever you want. You are the creator. You can create the rules you want. But once you establish a rule, you have to follow your rules. That's storytelling 101.
I agree. I adamantly, wholeheartedly agree. You okay?
Yes.
So after this creature attacks these people, they go on a kayaking trip across the lake. I wouldn't, because that, but whatever. And get some more character development and they explain each other's bullshits, whatever. So they get to a military base. It's called military base.
The kayak trips where they explain their flaws.
Yeah.
Because the only reason why they're all here is because they're all damaged in some way. Because no regular person would come in here if they were happy.
No, exactly. So they gotta be there because they're suicidal or some shit. And we cut back to her talking. Portman talking.
It's a very, very bad outlook. Really, you're saying no normal person would be brave enough to go in here, not willing to sacrifice anything of their life just because the world's in danger.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a bleak movie, TJ, with depressing tone.
Is that what this is?
And we're all damaged. And we're not really bleak at all. And we're all damaged for reasons, and we're all sad. So we're gonna carry our sadness into this.
All the human side of this movie sucks.
Yeah. I don't think it sucks. Like, what do you mean?
Like, anytime they delve into anything personal with the characters, it's either pointless or who cares.
Yeah, it's weak. I think it was why?
Because they talk about, the one girl's being suicidal and the other girl's addiction and stuff like that. Never comes in.
You know what the problem is, I think? It's the same problem I think with the La La Land thing is. It feels like a first-time writer's like, oh, this is kind of important and deep to the story, but like, no, it has no purpose to anything. You're not giving us more. You're giving us just like the surface level, she's this, and she's this, and that's it.
There's a reason.
That's not going to affect the story. It's not going to do anything further along.
There's a reason why Chekhov's gun is a trope. Because it's an important trope. If you introduce something, regardless of what it is, it should come back at some point.
Yes. Like you would think, okay, my daughter died of cancer, so she might seem a mimic of her daughter or some shit. If that was the rules applied. Or the addict is fiending for more, whatever the and the person who's living life was...
You can even go more subtle with it. You can either go like she has an addictive personality, so she's pushing harder and harder and harder because she wants to go further, or she wants to leave, or whatever, like that. Mm-hmm. Or like the suicidal girl would be taking more risks and stuff like that. But even though they didn't say she's really suicidal, she said she's one of
she wants to live life or wants to experience.
Yeah, she wants to feel more, but that would mean she would want to take more risks.
Exactly,
You know
more
what
like
I mean?
exhilarating stuff. Yeah.
Whereas the girl who lost her daughter is essentially trying to find meaning in something. She would be like more curious about the world and why this is happening and stuff.
Yes.
But none of this stuff comes into play.
No, they're just trying to make you have sympathy or understand them, but like not really. It's bad. It's weak. It's very pointless. So they get this military base. It's called
The only
military.
character motivation that actually works is Natalie Portman's character, but that's because she's got the easiest role to play.
Exactly.
So it's like, of course, she's just here to find out what happened to her husband. And how do you do that? You go to the place where he went. It's not really that hard.
You just follow the breadcrumbs. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
God. I mean, so we get to Fort Amaya, the army base that's abandoned, and this is where they see that the other teams before them have set up here as base camp. So they see on the walls, the former team has all their names and like times, like when to patrol the area, and they have a map of the base camp and all that shit. And she sees her husband's name, Kane. She's like, oh, God. This is also where they get to the pool, I guess, right? Did they find?
No, this is
okay, yeah.
This is,
the professor sees on the table a baggie that says, "For all those who come after us." And in the baggie is a memory card to a videotape. And so they put the memory card into the tape.
When I was watching, I was like, so why would they have the equipment to do this? And then I was like, okay, maybe they did have the equipment to do this because they set everyone in with the same equipment, so maybe that makes sense. So
yes, and it's all the same kind of purpose.
It just seems very convenient, is what I'm trying to get at.
It did, because like, why are the camera cords everywhere? Yeah. And so,
well, then we'll get to that last scene with the camera just sitting there with enough battery to watch a movie.
Yeah.
A year or so.
Yeah, who's charging this shit, guys? Okay. So they watched the video, and in this video is a really cool scene. All the horror shit and all this weird cool shit is like, it was fun to me. It was just far in between. So in this video, we see Natalie Portman's husband, Oscar Isaac. He has his Marine friends with him, his Army friends with him, and they're holding down a guy. And they start to cut open his stomach. And inside the stomach, they pull open the flap. And in the stomach, he puts his hand into the guy, and we see the intestines of the man moving.
It's a cool scene.
Cool effect, great effect.
Well, why did they record this and leave this for PS people?
Not even. They can record it, but they don't explain what they're doing.
That's what I mean. Thing. There was no explanation. It was like, hey, look at this. Isn't this neat?
Yeah.
Why are you showing us this? You're just making the husband look like a psycho so that you could have the wife look like she's the bad guy for a later scene. It's just it's a cool scene.
They didn't say, hey, he's feeling weird. He said to do it. There's no one's talking. It's just like why?
It's a cool scene, but ultimately it's nothing but a plot device. It's like why it's there's no point to it. It's really like there's no reason for it to be there. They just wanted to record it because it looked cool.
That annoys the fuck out of me. Like I think anybody at any level, any professional would realize I should be saying something in this.
Yeah. No, they wanted to get across the horror and the intrigue. It's like the mystery in this movie holds the movie back. Yes.
Why is it like the thing that these movies are trying to do holds the movies back? Why is that a thing? Like, do better. And so, like, Isaac's hands covered in blood. He washes blood in the pool, put the knife down. And so, Dr. Ventress decides, I'm going to go to that room and check that shit out real quick. They all follow, and they see the skeletal remains of the guy intermixed with the floral mutations from the anomaly all over the wall.
Now this doesn't make any sense. Why are the animals mutated with... they established the animals are mutating with other animal traits, and then the plants are mutating with plant traits, but now all of a sudden they're intermixing.
Because humans are more connected with the floral stuff, TJ.
But what they explain later is that the world is... the shimmer is mimicking our world and recreating it. This does not exist in our world, this combination here.
Maybe because the DNA of the mimic is the floral shit. And
they don't say that.
Maybe
they don't
say it, but
you're jumping to conclusions.
Hey man, they don't tell me a lot of shit in this movie, so I'm just trying to figure out the shit they give us, okay?
I'm just saying, it makes no sense. That's my whole problem with this movie.
Yes.
It's super poorly written.
It's the rule of cool over like depth and shit. Like it's like, oh, this would be cool looking and cool to have. But why? What sense does this make?
The rule of cool only works in action scenes.
In this movie, right?
Like, no, in general. Like, or, making something happen.
Yeah.
If you, like in D&D, if your player wants to do something really cool, that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like, okay, go ahead, you can do it, whatever. We'll see how it plays out. But it's usually something like stupid or something like that. Let's just see how cool we can make this. But there's gotta be a purpose for it, though. There's gotta be a reason for it, and this one, not just a plot device to push things forward.
I agree. Yeah,
like by saying it's a plot device that pushes things forward, it isn't that you're saying that it does have a purpose, but it doesn't within the movie itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it moves forward, but that's only in script terms. And as far as the movie itself, it's like, oh, this is not doing anything for this movie.
Yes. It sounds like you like this movie a lot, TJ. I'm just saying. It sounds like you're a big fan.
This is why I don't watch movies.
And they go to the room where it's okay, and they see that knife's there, like her husband left behind. Oh man, he was here. This is the guy. So we get a flashback. When a flashback, don't care. It's at middle of nighttime. So Natalie Portman's wakes up in the middle of the night. Like, I can't sleep. I'm gonna talk to Ventress. Oh, she's researching too.
Ventress is on watch.
Yes,
because they're following the military protocols, and Natalie Portman does an experiment on herself to see if her cells are the same. I don't know what prompted her to do this.
Neither do I, but she does to do it, and they're fine for now.
Are they? Or
that's the next scene? I think. I don't know. I thought this is where she discovered that her cells are glowing a different color. Oh, that might be. That was next. I don't know. Next time.
It doesn't matter. She looks at the cells and nothing ever happens to her.
Yeah,
nothing ever happens to her. So what difference does it make?
No, something does happen.
I guess something does happen. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But okay.
Nope. So she's talking to Ventress, who's on watch, and they talk about life and bullshit, I guess, and shit like that. Not important. Just try to sound smart, and something breaks through the fence, and they don't know what's going on, and one of the people who are standing outside, I guess, gets taken. It's the mother of the dead cancer kid. She gets taken, and oh no, it's so sad.
So, were you able to see anything in the scene?
Nope. It was dark. It was very dark.
I was going to say, I could not tell what was happening in this scene.
Yes.
I was like, was that a boar that took her?
I knew it was a bear, but I wasn't.
I didn't.
100% sure it was a bear.
I didn't even know it was a bear until they told me it was a bear. I was like, "What? What the hell took her? What's going on here? I couldn't see a goddamn thing."
When she's getting taken, she's screaming, "Help! Help! 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 Help!" That matters to later, guys. But yeah, she's screaming help. And so, as you would, I would hope.
It matters for later for 1 second, and then it's done. Know. It's one sentence, and then it's gone.
That scene is flawed, too. We'll get to that scene. And so, the next day, they're all freaking out besides Ventress. The two brown people are like, we should get the fuck out of here. Why the fuck are we still doing this? And Ventress is like, we came this far, we're going further. I'm going further. You guys do your thing, I'm going further to the lighthouse. Portman's like, we should go to the shore.
We'll see you at the end of the movie, Ventress.
No, she's still there later.
Oh, she's still...
Yeah, this is the part where she leaves yet.
Oh, that's at the next part. Okay, yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you still have another hour. We're halfway through the movie, teacher. We have a whole other hour of this shit. Portman's like, we should go to the shore because that seems like the best way out. Cut back to the present day.
Portman is like, yeah, I agree with you. We should leave, but we just travel for 6 days and it's quicker to go forward than it is go back because the Shimmer has an exit. I guess it's a giant circle, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So there's a border of the Shimmer at the coast there. Now, my question is,
yes,
would they have to swim out into the Pacific in order to get out?
That's what I thought, yeah.
Because they showed it out in the ocean, right?
Yes. So clearly the best option is to go back where they came.
So I was like, I thought they would. Unless I guess they could have gone north or south out that way.
My black ass would have gone the other way I came. Like, you know what? If I really want to leave, I would go back to the way I knew what was laid out. Like, I'm not going to traverse anything weird and different. So yeah, she lies to them because they go back to the present. Doesn't matter. So they come along Shepherd's. Okay. So while trekking in, they come along Shepherd's foot or boot, whatever the shit it is, and they're like, "We should see her. We should go find her body, make sure she's dead." Portman says, "I'll go find it." She finds it. Shepherd's dead. Big surprise. This seems pointless. It just shows that.
It's just there to show that there's a dead body.
shows you a dead body. Shows up. She does this. And she sees two mutated deer. It's the only time we see two replicas of the same thing. They move the same way. It's a precursor to later. Yes.
I was like, oh, that's just two white deer. Why is that important? I didn't realize they were supposed to
later in the movie. I didn't
realize it was supposed to be
the same
because all deer look the same.
Exactly.
It's like,
and that's the only time we see two of one thing.
Two white deer. Okay, so what? They're deer.
You think it was notice like more two plants being the same thing, or two birds, or two bears?
I thought the mutation was that they're white and they had the weird antlers, but whatever. No, okay,
it just mimicked each other. It's the only time we see that until later, because it's a smart movie, guys. Get it? So she sees the dead body. Seeing the dead body it just shows that Ventress doesn't give a fuck. Like, we're here to do a mission. We're gonna die. Duh. I think Ventress makes the most sense. Like, yeah, we're here to die. We all know this going in. So a dead body should surprise us, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of on Ventress's and Natalie Portman's side of like, this is crazy f***ed up chip, sure, but I kind of need to know where we're going, why we're here.
Yeah, yeah.
If we don't do this, someone else, some other poor f***er is going to be sent in here and probably murdered too, so we might as well go finish the quest here.
Exactly. Like, right, doing the dumb, crazy shit, like...
Yeah, so, I mean, we might as well, just do it.
Yeah, we knew it was crazy going in, so we should be too surprised.
No, I'm not knocking the other two for being like, this is stupid, we need to get out of here. I agree. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, okay, in 6 months, the whole world's gonna be this. So,
but see, at the same time, like they didn't like get forced to do it. They knew going in.
They walked in willingly. Yeah,
like, there was no guns pointed to you. They're not holding your family hostage. Like,
it's not like they were the military. It wasn't like they were military guys who were ordered in.
Exactly, you guys volunteered to do this crazy ass shit. It sucks. Don't be wrong. I know it sucks. We're humans, so we're gonna freak out, but. Calm the f*** down. So they get to this abandoned...
Yeah, Marcus wouldn't have volunteered at all.
Maybe I would have, because it seems like, okay, it seems pretty cool. I don't want to die, but it seems like something to experience before death, I guess. So maybe I would have. Would you have?
Volunteered?
Yeah.
I think my curiosity would have took over.
Yeah, saying like, I gotta know. I can't not know. Like...
I would be like... You're gonna arm me, right? If I go in there.
I'm gonna gun, right? Like, I don't care about a walkie, I need a gun. But the second that bear would appear, the second time, like, yeah, f*** this. I'm gonna eat a bullet. That was terrifying. We'll get to it, but that's like, this is scary. So we get to the abandoned house, and we see these sculptures of humans that are actually flowers. They're not sculptures. There's past people that turn into... Walking.
Is that what that was?
Yes.
Was because the explanation I got from them was that the world was growing the plants into the shape of humans.
No, I thought so too until she did her thing. So I think.
But I think. Well, maybe
they don't tell you. They don't really tell you.
No,
I think if you're gonna die at peace, this is what happened to you. You turn into nature.
Oh.
I don't fucking know.
Either way, it's stupid.
Yeah, so they get to this place and it's covered with shit. And they're going to hunker down here tonight. So they hunker down and then she does her experiment. It's later. Now, they talk about, this is where they talk about the details of the DNA and shit. Let me look at my notes. It's far too confusing. Hold on. It's not confusing. I had to get the bullshit straight.
This is the exposition dump of the entire movie.
This whole movie's exposition dump, TJ. Every time they're talking, it's exposition.
But this is like the scientific exposition dump of what's happening.
Yes.
Because the whole last act of this movie is kind of a one-woman show.
Yeah. So Tessa Thompson's character says he thought the light's waves weren't blocked, they were just scrambled. So Shimmer is just a prison and with your DNA for the most part, and that's what they all figured out.
It's a rectal. Refractor.
Yes.
What did I call it? A refractor.
Yeah.
It's just so much of one that nothing can get through because it's scientifically it makes sense.
Yes. You have to listen to what they're saying to understand.
Even if it's improbable.
Yes. And that's the thing. I think the problem with these characters, they go in thinking this is all impossible. But I think you should go in knowing that's a big fucking rainbow thing I'm walking into. At this point, anything's possible. That should be their logic, I feel. But they just think scientifically too much about things.
But like the explanation they give for it makes sense scientifically.
Yes.
But the effects within the Shimmer itself make no fucking sense.
Yes. But that makes sense in the world that they are going into.
Not really, though, because like I said, they establish rules and then they change them whenever they want to.
Yeah. That, yeah. So all that happens, so they go to bed. This is when she wakes up in the middle of the night, tests her blood, and she sees that her DNA is glowing. Oh, weird. The thing you just said is happening. Weird. Flashback to her having sex with the guys cheating on her, blah, blah. No one cares about that. We explained it. And then she gets woken up to one of the people, not Tessa, the other brown lady.
You forgot to
what?
explain that every so often we cut back to Benedict Wong
Asking questions.
Asking questions and stuff to her. Because that's still happening. That didn't happen in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's still happening. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because it just brings the movie to a halt because...
Yes. He's literally asking questions, and she's explaining what we just saw, or what we're about to see. Like, stop doing this movie. Stop doing this. Just stop. Stop being a bad movie. People who are writing movies, don't do back and forth shit. It's pointless. It's like a shitty version of time travel. I don't need a witness in a movie. It's just pointless.
Unless, there's a way to do it. You just can't do it.
No, I don't think there is a way of doing it properly.
You can't keep jumping back and forth. Well, what I mean is, no, you can't. Like, I understand starting in the future and then going back to, childhood or something like that. You know what I mean?
Even then, it's like...
And explaining storyline and explaining backstory.
But why start the future then? Like, just start at the childhood and then do a time jump to where you're like, it's just...
Because it's not really... It's important for the character development, but it's not important to the story. You get what I'm saying?
But, I know, I get what you're saying. I just feel like...
if there's a reason for it, I get it. Like, say you're going through... Say you're in a fantasy world, you're going through some kind of trial or something, and then you're re-experiencing your childhood for reasons and stuff like that.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Sure. I don't know what that is, but sure.
It's an overrated movie.
But, and you have your experience and you're having some kind of inner struggle going through it. I think it can work in certain instances.
Yeah, Slumdog Millionaire is a guy. It's based in India. The guy goes on a millionaire. Goes on who their version of who wants to be a millionaire. Every question he answers, he has a 20-minute flashback of how he knows that answer. So the sky's blue. Flashback for 15, 20 minutes of how he learned that the sky's blue and his life experience of how he got there. It's just built his character and experiences for every question. That's what they're doing. And so that makes sense, yes. I just feel...
That actually sounds terrible. That actually sounds terrible.
It came out 2008, 2010. It's okay for what it is. It's just like, it got so much hype. I think it won Best Picture that year, too. It just got so much appraisal. Like, this isn't that good. This is not good. But I just feel like that not that movie specifically, but just that flashback, flash forward, flashback. It just
I agree with you. It shouldn't continuously do it. I think it should be one continuous scene and then be done.
Yes, yeah, it should be one and done.
Yeah, it should be definitely a one and done, at least for the specific story that you're telling in that flashback. There shouldn't be multiple flashbacks telling the same thing.
But even then, I still think if you want to tell me that, show me that one scene. Show me that beginning, and then do 10 years later, do X amount of months later.
I just don't think that works sometimes. If you're showing someone having sex with someone cheating and you have no context for it, it's okay, someone's just having sex there. You know what I mean? And then you just go on for it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think you could just write the story to make it that fit proper. I don't think some flashbacks are necessary. That's why they exist. Flashbacks, I get it.
Yeah, that's just what I mean. I'm just saying sometimes they're fine. The Tarantino.
He did it fine. He did it.
But what I was going to say, the Tarantino style that is copied by everybody, is terrible.
Yes, and that's why I'm arguing too. I guess we're both arguing it has its place, but people overdo it to a point where you don't need to do it anymore.
Because I'll be honest with you, I love backstory. I love war.
So do I.
So I love experiencing it in something that I love. It's just
Give me 10 seasons of backstory. I'm happy. Give me world building shit. I love that.
But so when it happens, I'm I like it when it happens, but not when it's done terrible.
Yes, not when it literally brings the story to a halt.
Yes,
to show me something that could be better if it was together with something else, but it's just boring too. I don't need to see this. So yeah. Anyways, she's going back and forth with Halt, or what's his name?
I don't even know where we are. Where are we?
Some bullshit flashbacks happen. She wakes up to getting hit in the face by one of her people she's with, the other brown girl.
Yeah, because she just started staring at her.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, suspiciously, for reasons that I don't know why.
Because it has to happen. and they didn't
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do it justice.
They don't show her having her getting the tags or anything.
No, she wakes. Portman wakes up with everyone else. They're all tied up to their own chairs and bound and gagged to the brown girl who snapped because she's fucking angry. She's upset that Shepard died and they're still doing this, and so she's trying to make it all sense. Like, there's only two possibilities why these things are happening. There's only these many reasons why these things are happening.
Well, they said that in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. And she's bringing it up. She snapped. She's going crazy. And so she's about to kill Portman, but
because she finds out that her husband that was her husband.
And Portman didn't tell everyone because she must be in on it. It must be bad. That's the logic.
When she didn't tell anybody because of this exact reason.
Exactly. And so the brown girl is about to kill Portman, but just as she's about to do it, she hears the screams of Shepard. Oh no, she's screaming help and help and help. I gotta go save her. So the brown girl goes running off screen, out the door. But then we hear, and then comes walking in is this fucking no-face bear. And this bear, every time it opens his mouth,
no-face bear? What are you talking about?
This bear has his face, but like half of it's missing. It's clearly fucked up and like undead, but alive. It's affected by this world. And every time this bear starts opening its mouth, it screams out, help, 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 in the person's voice.
Does
it's eerie, it's terrifying, it's
I only
creepy.
Heard it once.
No, every time he does the roar, it just screams, help, and it makes human noises.
Are you sure? Because I heard it one time.
I heard it a few times because I was so invested in this sequence, like how it's horror. This is horror. It's horrifying.
I was like, I didn't get what was happening.
Really?
Why? How did the bear show up all of a sudden?
It showed up because it's hunting them down, I guess. It showed up because Ex Machina, because these characters can't die here. TJ.
Why is this bear here? All of a sudden, it can imprint on dying souls. What? What's going on?
It's a metaphor for whatever the metaphor is supposed to be. I don't know, death. I don't know. And
how do you absorb the last moments of a person's memories?
Well, because Tessa Thompson says because they're all connected now.
How is that mimicking our world at all?
Because it's connected. Because we're all connected with nature and Earth man.
This is another bullshit rule that they just decided to arbitrarily throw in for this one scene.
Isn't it cool? And so the bear comes in and attacks them, but doesn't attack him. It's just doing some horrific shit. The girl that ran out goes back in with a gun and starts shooting the bear. So I guess it attacked her, but didn't kill her. So the bear goes, attacks her, kills her this time finally. Everyone's free because the bear charged and knocked them out of the chairs. They're free and they kill the bear.
Why didn't you just do that in the first place?
Do what?
Kill the bear.
Because
obviously it goes down. He shoot it enough. Just shoot it a lot.
You had to have that sequence, man. Cool sequence, but like you said, very illogical on a lot of points. Very illogical. Very flawed. Yeah,
I was not invested in the scene like you were.
I love it. I think because what I saw in this scene was I wish the whole movie was this. I wish the whole movie was more.
You want to know?
Creatures and freak shit.
You wouldn't know why I wasn't invested in the scene and why I was questioning it the whole time?
Why?
Because I knew that girl disappears, that girl in the chair disappears, that girl in the chair disappears, and Natalie Portman lives. Oh, yes. So the only person that can die in this scene is the girl that gets killed. Yes. Oh, what a surprise.
And why do you know this, TJ?
Because they told me in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So, as cool as it may have looked, it was already spoiled for me. I was like, whatever. I had no investment.
And we still have 40 minutes left in this movie. And then after all this, it goes to the next morning. They're all about, they got to leave tonight. So I think this is when Dr. Ventures leaves. But Natalie Portman still leaves.
She went to the White House.
Yeah, so she's going to be in the third act, guys. So she's going to be in the third act for a minute. And so we get Natalie Portman and Tessa Thompson. They stay till the next morning. But now Tessa Thompson has to leave because that's the end of her contract in the movie.
Yeah.
And so
you're not in the last third of this movie because we only need Natalie Portman for this part of the movie. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go walk off in that direction and grow plant things so we can make it seem like you're turning into a plant person, and then we'll never see from you again.
And that's exactly what happens. And so now Natalie Portman is distraught and sad and just walking the land. And we get some more cool scenery. And then she finally gets to the White House. Lighthouse.
The White House would have been worse.
So she gets to the Lighthouse, and the trees are all crystals and the cool scenery. And there's a skeletons laying in front of the White House, and they're lined up in a certain way. And she gets to the lighthouse, and there's a hole in the lighthouse where the meteor hit, and it's engulfed in veins.
Does she look at the camera before or after she goes down the hole?
Before. She sees a body that's covered in soot, a skeletal body. And there's a camera facing it. So she gets the camera and watches it. And it's just her husband saying, goodbye to the world. I'm going to die. If you go find my wife, or if you leave this area, go find my wife. He sets off the grenade. It's a phosphorus grenade. Didn't know they existed. They're pretty cool. And it lights him on fire, and it's bling, big white light. And he's the skeleton. He's dead, guys.
Yeah, he's dead. And but he's a doppelganger shows up.
Oh no!
That's who showed up.
Oh so God!
When you see this moment, you think you know what's going to happen, right? You think you know how this movie's going to end, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't end that way.
Nope. Nope. I mean, again, this is the first book of a series, which no one knows going in. So, like, it's a movie. But I guess the second and third book tackle, like, who's who, probably. I've seen that movie done so many times. And I like that. I like that section of movies. Like, do I trust you? Do I know you? The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Things, all those. I like that. But, like, this doesn't go that route. So what the is this for? I guess it's going to be a sequel. Who knows? And so she's like, oh, no.
I don't think that this movie flopped hard.
Yeah. Let me go into this hole now. You think she would have a mental breakdown right now, but no. She's like, let me go into this hole for some reason.
You know what? Thinking about that, she doesn't even cry.
No.
Her husband's dead. She's just like, oh, well, I'm going to go down this hole now.
You think, like... You know, I thought about it would have been better if the guy would have came home and then she would have hugged him and like they would have had sex or something like that, coughs up blood, then goes to the hospital. And then this scene would have been more dramatic. I had sex with him, not my husband. Like, what the did I have sex with? And then going to us, like, this would have been more better instead of the whole dumb...
And maybe that infected her instead of...
Yes. Instead of having that dumb fucking cheating affair storyline, get rid of that and have that be the sex scene and having like have all that. And then this happens. And she goes in this black hole. And the sea Ventress has no face, but then has a face. And she's talking to Portman about shit. And then Ventress dies, becomes this
does she die? She kind of just throws up light and then vanishes into like a giant void.
Yeah. She throws up this energy light. Yeah. And yeah, she turns into this void of bullshit.
What was this? What the hell happened here?
What happens? We don't know what happens. Because she says the title. She says Annihilation. Get it, guys?
Yeah, because,
get it?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's about. And so Portman sees all this shit, and she's like, for some reason, this thing sucks out blood from her eye, but not her eye, like a porous. And then this blood mutates into cells, because we talked about cells earlier, guys. You get it? It's all connected, guys. And then it turns into a f***ing replica of Portman, but not really. It's like a shiny replica of her, and it mimics her. And
she's fighting against Dark Link here.
Yes, exactly.
Shadow Link here. It's so like dumb. Any video game where you have to fight yourself. It's like,
how do you defeat it?
And I'm like, it's mimicking you. Just circle around and open the door.
Right? Yeah, you just go to the wall, do the circle thing. Exactly. Open the door, get out. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Why are you making this more difficult than it is?
Have you never played a video game before, Natalie Portman?
But no, I mean, just walk. Yeah, she does this, walks up to the men room, has a fight with herself. She gets her ass kicked like 3 times, can't focus win, but she goes to the bag where her husband had the phosphorus grenade, which I don't know how that's still intact. That thing should be expired or destroyed.
Maybe there was another one.
Like, whatever, sure.
Maybe there's a bag in them right there.
Yeah, sure. And so she grabs one out, puts it in the thing's hand.
You're brushing over this doppelganger scene because this goes on for like 15 minutes.
Because nothing happens. Okay, she gets to the door and knocks her out.
That's my point.
Yeah. It's just so pointless.
You explained it in like 3 seconds.
Yes.
Because she's like, it's slowly showing us that it's mimicking her. It's like, every time she gets hurt and knocked down, it falls down with her, and it's like, we get it. It's mimicking her. What are you trying to? We get it.
It's pretty looking, but yeah, like I didn't notice how long this scene lasted. So I'm looking at it right now. Like I sat here for 15 minutes watching this. Are you kidding me? It's like, yeah, it's like
I don't know if it was actually 15 minutes, but it felt like 15 minutes.
It's long. It's like we get it. She's getting copied. We get it.
Yeah, and it's like I said, there's a simple solution to it.
Yeah, it's like back up to the wall, do a big circle, because the room's circular, so just do a f***ing circle. It's going to follow your steps, get to the door and open it, get out. But no, she does the whole struggling, like you said. She wakes
But
up, does the whole...
they couldn't do that because they have to destroy the lighthouse.
Do they, though?
That's how this movie's resolved, by destroying
But
the
then she could have just walked out and just gone to the thing like, hey, guys, this is the shit we saw on there. But I guess they have to destroy it. But destroying it, do they know that's how they stop the stuff? No, they're just destroy it. Like, her goal wasn't to destroy it. Her goal was to get the out of there and just kill this thing.
But the point of the movie is to end the shimmer.
Yes, but how do you end it? Like...
It gets... in that hole... the hole felt like an organism or something. Yeah. So when it gets burnt by the phosphorus, it kills everything.
Well, hold on. Okay, let me just say what happens. So she puts the phosphor grenade in the thing on the creature's hand. It mimics the complete turn to her completely, but she leaves just in time for it to explode, and like it slowly catches on fire. And so she gets out the lighthouse, and the whole thing slowly engulfs the creature slowly engulfs the whole lighthouse on fire. But she says that happens, everything dies, and the whole shimmer collapses.
So, hold on, before you continue.
Yeah.
This thing has done nothing but mimic her.
Yes.
Why did it stop mimicking her after the phosphorus?
Because the movie has the movie, right? That's my question too.
Because I'm like, okay, if this thing can only mimic her, it wouldn't matter if it's on fire. Yes. It would continue to mimic her. Why would it?
You know why?
Why would it go down into the hole if Natalie Portman is not going in the same direction and like going down in the hole?
You know why? Because the movie already pre-established in the first 5 minutes that she lives. That's why, TJ. They wrote themselves into a stupid corner shit.
No, what my point is, the thing's a mimic.
Yeah.
So no matter what you do, it's going to mimic Natalie Portman because it's supposed to be Natalie Portman. Correct?
Yes.
So Natalie Portman walks out of the lighthouse, right?
Yes.
Closes the door. Things should still be mimicking her regardless.
I agree.
So... unless Natalie Portman is walking in the direction of that hole and going down the hole and doing exactly what that thing's doing, it's no longer mimicking her.
No. I guess it only mimics when it sees what it sees. So if it's not seeing it... No, because when she lays down, it faces backwards to her, so it doesn't see what she's doing. You're right. Because
it's mirroring her,
yes. Yeah. But my question is, though, so she saw her husband set himself on fire, right?
Uh-huh.
And it just set himself on fire. So how does she know that this phosphorus grenade is going to set this thing on fire and set the whole place on fire?
I don't think she does.
But that's the thing. So, like, what's her goal? Like, her goal is just to...
get away from it, I guess.
Like, maybe it won't hurt it. Like...
well, I mean, all she was trying to do was get out, so...
yeah, but then what after that? Go back in and try to confront it?
I guess go back home, like you said. She's going to go back and report everything, I guess.
It's just dumb.
Everything after the phosphorus grenade is just coincidence, I guess. It just happens. It is.
It's just because it has to happen.
Yeah, it's like, this is how it's got to play.
And so it all...
You're right. They wrote themselves into a corner. They didn't know how to do this.
It's like, wouldn't it be cool if she's still alive? We see that in the first place.
Well, not even the alive thing. It's like, you could have had Natalie Portman throw the phosphorus grenade down into the hole or something and had the same effect here.
Exactly.
But no, they were like, we have this doppelganger. How do we freaking use it now? We've been building up this doppelganger thing this entire movie, yet it's only in this one scene for 15 minutes, and then...
And the deer scene, that little 30 seconds of deers.
Yeah, I know. But like... Ed.
So yeah, the everything's disintegrated. She's alive somehow. She ends up in the hospital. We're at Wong and her together. He's saying, okay, so he says, the place is gone. There's no signs of anything. So it was alien. She says, yeah, it was alien. And he says, it's here to destroy us. Like, no, it wasn't here to destroy us. It's to mimic us and learn us and do shit. It's like, sure.
She essentially doesn't know what it wants.
Yeah, no one knows. We don't even know what it was.
If it even wants, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she's like, is my husband alive? He's like, yeah, after everything happened, he's back to normal.
Why?
You think he would have...
He's born of the shimmer. Literally born of the shimmer.
Yes.
How is he still alive? The shimmer's gone. Everything with the shimmer is going on. Why is he still alive?
He should have fucking disintegrated too.
Yes.
But no, why? No. So she gets to go see him, and they embrace in a hug, and both their eyes shimmer. Ooh.
She asked him, "Are you, my husband?" Like, and he's like, "I don't think so." And then he asked her, "Are you?" And she doesn't answer, and it's like, And then they race. What? That doesn't make any sense either. They showed them both their eyes shimmering as if they're both doppelgangers, but Natalie Portman isn't a doppelganger because she killed her doppelganger.
Unless the doppelganger was the one that got out, but they don't really allude to that. They just really show her getting out.
They show her getting out and the doppelganger burning up and destroying everything.
God. But I guess...
And then it just ends. It just ends with the hug, with their eyes shimmering, as if that's, deep or, open-ended.
Yeah, the doppelganger's going to take over the world, I guess, or fucking whatever. Who knows?
It's like we got one doppelganger and Natalie Portman. Okay, end?
Yep, what's the point of that? What's the point of this whole movie, guys?
This movie sucked, Marcus.
This
movie was really bad.
No, because if all the complaints we had, I feel I still enjoyed it visually. I did. The content is really dumb. It's really stupid. It's really like you said, it just contradicts itself the whole time. It's not a clever movie. It's not smart.
It's not a good movie.
I think it's enjoyable, though. I
did not enjoy any of it.
I enjoyed some of it. I enjoyed it just enough not to hate it. I didn't hate this. That's all I got out. I didn't hate this movie.
I did not like this movie. Because
Understandable.
Even the cool scenes were ruined by the first 5 minutes.
They were ruined by the first 5 minutes, and even the cool scenes, even about the first 5 minutes, I think the logic within the cool scenes was so dumb. Like, it just ruined itself.
And, according to you, there were only 2 cool scenes in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. Well, there was a bear scene, which I thoroughly enjoyed, but was super flawed. There was the opening the guy's stomach, which, again, was super fucking flawed in all the ways. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That was a total of, 10 minutes in the entire movie?
Not even 10 minutes. Maybe like 6 or 7.
So 10 minutes of what you think is good makes this a okay movie? So by your standards, 144 minutes of bad is...
But again, I guess because I just don't have any like hatred, like this movie. I didn't waste because I had coffee before I drank it, so like I'm kind of energized. So I saw this, like, okay, it's on par for what I expected. It ended how I kind of expected this movie could end, and it was pretty to look at. I'm not saying this is a good movie. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying go out and watch it. It's like, this is what I expected from a movie like this.
This is on par with every other one of your movies.
It's not a 5. I haven't had any
so
5
glad
picks.
I'm so glad we're going back to the superhero movies.
I'm not glad. I'm still happy. I'm happy with each of my picks. I'm happy with Peanut Butter Falcon. I'm not happy with Cooties. I'm happy with Cooties. No, I'm not. I'm happy with Peanut Butter. Didn't care for Cooties. And I enjoyed La La Land to a point. This is, I think, as well as I enjoyed this movie to a point. These movies I picked were somewhat enjoyable. You want to rate this movie real quick?
You wasted a month of my life.
Oh, man. I'm glad I wasted a month. I gave this movie Annihilation. You know what's up? I'm going to forget about this movie the second I turn this recording. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, I can't give it a 4. There's no way it's a 4. So I'm going to forget about this movie. 3, the visuals in those 2 scenes, like you said, just held us up enough not to even be a 1 or a 3. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10. I'll give you this movie a 2 out of 10. And I hate that. But it's not out of anger. It's not out of, like, I wasted my time. The 2 out of 10 for me, because I know I'm going to forget this movie. And I know the only things I can recommend about this movie, it's pretty looking, and those 2 scenes I mentioned. But again, even in those 2 scenes, the logic is just so like, but what about this? What about that? What about, like, this is so questionable, this movie. Like, it doesn't do anything in this movie. So it's like, it's
I will give this
10.
movie this.
Yeah.
It is not as bad as Cooties was.
Well, if I recall correctly in Cooties, at least it set rules up and abided by those rules, no matter how dumb the movie was. This set up rules and it said, F those rules, let's do something else with those. So it's like, that's why I think Cooties, I don't remember I gave Cooties, but like, I think it holds.
Cooties a 2.
Did I? Yeah, it's on par. Yeah. I think it's just.
But this movie, sure, Cooties set up the rules, but the writing was still terrible in that movie.
Yes, the same with this movie.
So the writing is bad on both ends, but like you said, at least this one had visuals.
Yes.
I mean, you can give it what you want, but I'm at a 3.
I respect that. Like, at least Cooties. The reason why these are both 2s, Cooties has rules and stuck by the rules. This one just had visuals. That's it. That's for me. Just 2. And you're 3. Why did you give this a 3?
Well, I hated this movie.
But why not a 2 or a 1?
Because I hated Cooties more.
That's fair.
I mean, yeah, it's competent movie as far as it's a movie.
Which one? This one or Cooties?
Well, both of them.
Yeah.
That's why they're not ones.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like technically they tell a story.
Yeah, it's technically a movie. Even if it's not good, I can still say, hey, I watched a movie.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, I'm more surprised of the 4 movies I picked that I didn't get angry at any of them. Like, I didn't come out like visceral hatred. I came out disappointed of all 4 of them, but like nothing like, what a waste of my goddamn time.
I knew the moment you picked this theme, it was going to be a nightmare.
So did I. But you know what? I'm hoping, TJ. I'm hoping Peanut Butter Falcon will prove me right that Shia LaBeouf isn't that bad of an actor.
And
he wasn't bad in that movie.
No, he was topped up by that movie.
But acting-wise, wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
Just because everyone else in that movie was bad doesn't mean he was good.
The actors weren't bad. It's just the characters are bad. But the acting in that movie wasn't bad. And any of these movies, Cooties, besides Cooties.
What I said.
Cooties was bad. Cooties was not a good movie. Cooties.
Like, I was going to go into this, like, pretending to hate everything at first. Like, because I just didn't want to do this theme because I knew I didn't want to see these movies that you're going to pick.
Yes.
But I didn't even have to pretend. You just picked 4 bad movies.
Okay.
And sorry. Not a single one of them got a 5 or higher.
No, they
not a single one of them.
Nope. I think what we can learn and what everyone can learn from listening to this is, most importantly, end your movie on a fucking note. End it in a way that, okay, it's either happy or sad. Don't end it ambiguously. Don't end it like, there was 2 cop-out endings with fucking La La Land of its dumbass parallel ending and Peanut Butter Falcon. Like, oh, Shia LaBeouf's actually alive, guys. Coincidental. Even though, no, there's 3 cop-outs. Cooties. Remember Dwight from The Office doesn't die? The gym teacher? Like,
back.
He's actually alive? Like, sure.
I know. Yes.
Sure.
I know.
Yeah, have some balls to end your movie, guys. That's it. Just like, oh, character died, and this is how it's going to end, guys.
Technically, this had a cop-out ending, too, because they wanted to kill off the husband, but they wanted to keep the husband alive, too.
Oh,
so it's like...
Jesus, like, what's wrong with screenwriters? Like, I don't know how to end it. My God. So, yeah, that's what I learned from this movie. That's from this series. Just end the movie properly. Like, how we're ending this review. F*** yourselves.